Objective measurement of mental intention, a method to explain what consciousness does. The problem is, what is consciousness? There has been much research undertaken to discover what consciousness is. However, a better direction may be to determine what consciousness does, then ask how the outcome was accomplished. Consciousness may be considered an awareness of the environmental energy that stimulates the body. The difficulty in validating what consciousness is stems from consciousness being characterized as an inflow awareness. This viewpoint is very difficult to prove, as awareness is an inflow that is personally and uniquely subjective. A unique viewpoint of consciousness is an objective, mind-based creative outcome. What if we are not the effect of environmental energies, but the creator of our perceptions, and the creator of a lasting trace of those perceptions as memory? An important question to ask is, does the brain create our perceptions and memories? Recognize that perception in a material physical state is already determined. Therefore, what is perceived and remembered is an inflow phenomena. Therefore, consciousness is manifested as an effect, and free will is an illusion. A uniquely different question is, does the mind create our perceptions and memories? Consider that perception and memory are actually created by observation. This is termed the observer effect of all available energies from the environment. This includes the body and the brain in a quantum state. Therefore, consciousness would be an outflow manifested as cause over our world. Thus, we would create and control our reality and have free will to do so. There are three considerations for how consciousness is created in the quantum state. The first consideration is the observer effect. Once the mind perceives environmental energies in the quantum state, by observing, it will create a permanence in the material state. The second consideration is resonance order. An active energy introduced into the quantum state by the mind will alter the state in greater or lesser order, depending on the person's mental resonance ability. And the third consideration is lasting information. Research supports the concept that patterns of energy are stored as a quantum field. This could be potentially a holographic field. The mind thus creates perceptions that also create the lasting trace or memory in the quantum field. A research study was undertaken by this presenter, and experimental evidence that we actually create consciousness was noted. The hypothesis was, there will be a statistically significant difference in the signal's coherent metric at a probability level of 0.05 between the 5 minutes of non-local active mental intention control over an application and 5 minutes of non-local, non-intention trials. The study's experimental methods included 31 trials with 22 adult participants of mixed gender, ages, and mindfulness training. A solid-state mind interface device produced two coupled subatomic signals, of which the trending of the two signals was processed and measured. National Instruments' 80 megahertz clock counter was used to determine the time signal where an entrainment state of that trending occurred. LabVIEW software was used to process data discriminating an application control metric and saving raw and processed data. LabVIEW was also used for analysis. The study's experimental results included an analysis of variance of the raw time-based data between intention and non-intention trials. This showed a probability less than 0.05 for 65% of the participants being statistically significant. The z-score shift to the positive equaling or greater than 1.96 showed that 5 participants had a 10% shift or greater. An ANOVA of frequency maximum power between intention and non-intention trials had a probability of 0.00005. And the correlation coefficient was negatively correlated at a R value of 0.892 for the movement of the frequency shift of intention trials to lower frequencies, while the non-intention trials shifted to higher frequencies. The promising results of this study point to the potential of a new direction of research in consciousness, connecting the mind with the quantum realm. Continued research is needed to validate that consciousness is an active, dynamic creation of perception, memory, and action. The potential of this research could be vast, including non-local communication, control of devices without brain electrodes or implants, and the social implication that our mind can affect our world far beyond the local limitations of the brain. Thank you for your attention. If you have any questions or need additional information, the contact information is below.